Hello everyone, welcome to the Media Editor tutorial. The Media Editor is part of our new exciting platform, ScreenScape5. ScreenScape5 is a major redesign of our previous versions, and it takes ease of use and ease of management to a whole new level. In version 5, we introduced a sleek new content management system called Media Manager. It's full of powerful features like the Media Editor. The Media Editor is easy to use, and you don't have to be a professional designer to create amazing content with it. Let's get started and I will show you how it works. So today we will be creating 2 fake ads for a bicycle shop. This will be a great way to get to know the Media Editor. So you work for CycleWorks and your boss comes up to you and says, I need 2 new ads by the end of the day. First ad is for a clearance sale. So let's start by logging in to Media Manager. Now that we're in Media Manager, let's click on the floating action button. You could use one of the pre-built templates to create the ad, or you could build your own ad from scratch. To start from scratch, you want to go up to the top of the drawer and select Blank Canvas. Now that we have our blank canvas open, I'm going to name the media item something. That way I know what it is. So I have a photograph that I want to use on this ad. And to add that to the blank canvas, all I do is drag it in just like that. To resize the image, simply click on it and use the handles on the edge to drag it out. I'm going to drag in one more asset here, which is the logo that I will be using on the ad. Once that's loaded up, I can select it and resize it as well. So I've added 2 assets, which means I have 2 layers. If I want to rearrange those layers, simply click on the hamburger icon and move them around as you see fit. I want to add a shape layer now, so let's click on the floating action button and select Add Shape. Now that I have a shape layer, I can move it around and resize it as I see fit. I'm just going to make it take up the lower portion of the canvas, and I'm going to move it below the other layers. To change the color, click on this arrow and click on the color field right here, and I'm going to paste in my own color using a hex code. So use Control V or Command V on a Mac. I want to make this pop by adding a shadow, so I'm going to click on Add Style right here and select Box Shadow. Now that I have that open, I can choose the color of the shadow right here. So I'll make it dark gray, and using the blur radius, I can control the amount of the shadow. Just going to move this logo a wee bit up, and I have one more photo I want to bring in. So it's a photo of a guy on a mountain bike. I'm going to resize that so it takes up most of the canvas, and I will bring this layer underneath everything else. As you can see, the logo is not very visible, so to fix that, I will add a shape layer over top of it to change the contrast of the photo. So I'll create a shape layer and I will stretch the shape layer over the whole photo and change the color of the shape layer to, let's say, gray. That should work, I think. So to make the photo visible, let's click on Add Style. And let's add opacity. Turn that down a wee bit and you can see the photo just enough. Okay, now we want to drag this layer right above our photo of the mountain biker that we added. And now we can see the logo perfectly, which is great. If you ever want to hide a layer, it's really easy. All you do is click on this little eye icon and it hides the layer for you. One thing I often do is name my layers so I don't lose track of them. So I'll name my 2 shape layers right now, just so I know what they are. All right, now that that's done, I want to add some text. Let's click on the floating action button and select Add Text. Now that we have a text layer, I will go over the different options a text layer has. So if we select all of the text, it gives me the ability to make it bold, to italicize it, underline it, change the font, as well as change the font size, and change the color. I can also align the paragraphs. I'm going to left align it here and change the color to white. Now I want to choose a different font. So I have a font already picked, which is called Wicked Grit, which I think suits the ad quite nicely. So I'll select the text now and I'll add my own text, which is going to be bike sale. And to move it around, all you do is click on the box and move it around where you want it. I want to add one more text layer, so I'll click on Add Text, and I'm going to style this text layer as well. So first things first, I'm going to select it all and move the paragraph to left aligned, change the font size to something way smaller, adjust the box size, and move it right underneath bike sale. Okay, I'm going to type out my own paragraph now. And I'll change this text color to white. So I think the paragraph looks a little bit long. So I'm going to put some of it on its own line by selecting the area I want to break it at and clicking on Enter. The text is really close together, so I want to spread that out a bit by using something called line height. So I'll go to the layer up here and click on the arrow and select Add Style and Line Height and just increase that a little bit. And that's looking quite a lot better. So for some last minute tweaks, I'm just going to make the bike image slightly larger. And I think that's ready to test out on one of our screens. So I'll just click Save. And this will show up right in my media area. So first ad is done and it's looking pretty sweet. My boss is happy and it's time to move on to the next one. Starting with a blank canvas, I'm going to drag in a photo and resize it just to fit the whole canvas. All right, I want to add a shape layer now. So select Add Shape, changing the color to white. And I want to resize this and make it a nice little sidebar on the edge of the canvas, like so. Let's make it pop by adding a style. So let's click on Add Style and go to Box Shadow. Change the box shadow color to black and adjust the blur radius to where it looks good. Okay, I'll drag in the logo now. But I forgot one small detail. I already used this logo on the other ad, so I already have the file. I don't need to bring it in again. So if I want to find that, I will just erase this current one and go down to the floating action button and click on Add Image. The logo is right there. Any asset you bring in will always be saved to your media library. Okay, now that I have this resized and looking good, I'm going to add a text layer just for a nice little tagline for the bike shop. So I can just type in my message right here and make that quite a bit smaller so it fits nicely. Maybe about, let's say, 22 points should be fine. And I want to make this text red using one of my own custom colors. So what I'll do is I'll select all the text and I can just paste in my own code using Control-V or Command-V on a Mac. And I have the right red color. So I want to give the photo some more contrast, so I'll add a shape layer. And I'm going to make the shape layer black. And just stretch it over the whole canvas. And we want to move this layer just so it's right above our background layer and not blocking anything else. Let's click on Add Style and turn the opacity down a smidgen. I want to add a countdown app to this, which is really easy to do by going to the floating action button and going to Add App. This is where you'll find a whole bunch of awesome apps to use on your media items. I'm going to select Days Until and style this so it's looking fresh. So select it, make it white, change the font to Wicked Grit, which is the font we've been using so far. Let's pump the size up to the maximum amount, so 144. Now let's change the target date in the app settings by going to the drop-down arrow right here and going to the settings icon and adding our own date right here. So let's go back to November 9th and hit OK. Click on save. 6 days. Okay. So let's add some more text to give this some context. So it's going to be a countdown for a sale on bike repairs. So I want to left align this, make it white, and I can just type in my message right here. Now let's add our Wicked Grit font and make it quite a bit smaller. All right, let's adjust this so it looks awesome. Words on their own look bad, so I'm gonna just change that right now. Next thing I wanna do is make sure this is centered, so I can add a grid to this by going down to the action button here, going to add image. We're gonna pull up the curated asset library actually, and open up design tools, click on grids here, and choose the right grid to use. I think I'll use the modular grid. Just click upload. I had it uploaded earlier, so I'll just open up that version of it and just resize it to fit over the whole canvas. We can move this beneath the layers we want to center, then select the layers and center them to the grid. All right, I'll delete the grid layer now, and I'll name this something so I remember it and I can search for it easily later. So I just made 2 ads in under 12 minutes. This really demonstrates the powerfulness of the media editor. Both our ads are looking great and the boss is super happy. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and share this video. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have an awesome day. Bye.